What's up, guys? Intellitech Mobile here, and today is an interesting day, specifically because something may have happened. This fell off of one of my phones, and you can guess that phone is my Galaxy Note 7, a pretty special phone that most people don't really do videos on in 2024, 8 years after it came out. But here is out of all of my Note 7s, this is my best Note 7 because this is actually one where I put a brand new screen on it, a brand new back panel, and a brand new battery. And that definitely did not take forever to find on eBay. But the battery, unfortunately, is, well, kind of crap. And as strange as it is, I'm going to have to replace this. But I don't have another aftermarket Note 7 or Note FE battery to put in this. So what am I going to put in? Well, the original battery, of course. August 17th, 2016. See the part number? EBBN930. Made in China. 3,500 milliamp hours. The original Note 7 battery. Still in good shape. Never had any real issues with it. I only replaced it because it was this phone came from someone who actually used it for several years, despite the recall. And as a result, I'm probably going to sneeze soon. Excuse me. And as a result, this is pretty worn down. It's not, obviously brand new condition. So, which is why I replaced it with the new aftermarket battery. But the new aftermarket battery was significantly worse than the original because it kept dying more quickly. It ironically kept getting hotter, and it kept dying at random percentages. It was just a bad battery, and it was obviously a very poor quality replacement. So we're going to go ahead really quick and replace the battery back to the original battery, which is kind of weird because a refurbished Note 7, you'd think the one thing you'd replace is the battery. But in this case, the new battery, even after many years, because I think I put this in 2022, I believe, still just will not calibrate to the phone. It just will not work properly. So we're going to put the original back in and hope and pray this still works after sitting dead for many years. So, and also not exploding, which it realistically shouldn't, because if it hasn't at this point, what are the odds of it doing it now? So we're going to go ahead and unscrew this and put this back together. Alrighty, also a fun fact, here is the screen assembly that I had left this battery in for a number of years. It's a gold one. How often do you see gold Note 7s or Note FEs? Yeah, because the gold one never came out in the States. Although this one obviously has seen better days. Oops. But this one is much better. I just realized how often have you seen gold, and I realized my gold Note FE is literally sitting right here. So, still on Android 8 Oreo as well. But nevertheless, that is not the purpose of this video. So, we're going to remove all of these screws and replace this battery. So, on the Note 7 / Note FE, because they're all the same, there is a number of these small Phillips head screws that you need to remove in order to remove the wireless charging coil, which is also attached to this partial plastic antenna assembly. So we're just going to remove these screws. Some of them will be captive in the actual assembly, like this actual plastic piece, and other ones will come right out. It's pretty normal. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day because they're all gonna come out regardless. So I'm just gonna remove all of these screws so that way we can get access to that battery. Safely unplug it from the motherboard and replace it with the, in my opinion, safer battery, even though it's the one that was actually recalled. Because these knockoff batteries, there's no way that these are safer than the OEM ones, even of a Note 7. Because these knockoff batteries are pretty bad. There's a slight bit of adhesive right here that we have to peel up. And then I may have not loosened this one enough. Okay. And now we're just going to lift this up. If I can get this, if I can get this lifted up. It's struggling. Sometimes it's easier if you take out certain screws. This screw, this particular one, is struggling quite a fair bit. I really hope that's not like stripped out. Oh, it is not. So we just have to pull this away gently from the frame assembly. Now I'm wondering if I'm doing this wrong because it's been a long time since I opened up one of these. See, this all looks correct to me. Probably help if I removed another screw that I forgot about. That actually might help. There we go. I was going to say, it's not supposed to be that much resistance, but it's early. And I had put the IMEI sticker for this device on here. So, we're going to unclip the battery. And the battery was, I actually had adhered this into the phone. So we're going to have to actually pry it out. But there is a way to do that if I can figure out where my other screwdriver is. You're really supposed to use a plastic pry tool to pry out batteries. But in my case, I'm not super concerned about this battery. Okay. This adhesive I used is actually pretty strong. Do as I say, not as I do. But now the old battery. Yeah, this is dated 2021, but that's obviously not correct. So I'm going to remove this IMEI sticker. Actually, first I'm going to put in the new battery. Or the old battery, I should say. Which just fits in there perfectly. A big problem with the Note7 was, and part of the reason why many of these were exploding is because the actual original battery doesn't really have as much breathing room in the assembly as other devices, which meant that if it was prone to overheating, if you got a bad battery or a bad batch, which of course did happen, then it exacerbated the problem. It made it more likely to actually explode versus just, and by explode we mean like, overheat and catch fire. Sometimes not even catch fire. Most of the time they just release a lot of toxic smoke and the whole thing just melts, which still isn't ideal, obviously. So, trying to get this connector back on is a pain. I really don't want to damage this device. Sometimes it's easier. There we go. So I got that clipped back on. And there's our original battery back in. All right, So now we just gotta put this back on. All right. So that is all back in. All right, and then now we just got to take the back panel and seal it up, and then from there we'll be good. But first I'm going to pull the IMEI sticker, even though it probably doesn't matter, and put it back on the original battery. It doesn't even matter if I show it really. It's not like any of these are usable anyways. And then finally we got to take our back panel, which can be a little tricky to get lined up properly. Make sure there's no dust underneath the camera lens. The camera lens on this is actually it's a little loose for some reason. Like it's missing some adhesive. So I might be tempted to find a way to stick this down a bit better, but it's probably okay. I'm not too worried about it. This adhesive is pretty weak at this point, so I can pull this back panel off at any time. This is obviously not water resistant anymore. So sorry if I'm doing this off camera. It's kind of hard to see. And of course, it's not really going to stick. Once I make sure this is good, I might pull this back off and use some proper like liquid adhesive. But this actually is I know one corner wasn't adhered very well because I actually bought a replacement set of adhesive because the back didn't have any, and I didn't do the best job of installing it. Yeah, this side, you kind of hear it kind of clicking a little bit. But regardless, let's see if there's any juice on this. Nope, probably dead. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in, and we're going to see how well this charges. Yeah, the top doesn't really want to sit properly. Okay, now for this, I actually got, which is on my FE right now, but I actually got this really cute Spigen Neo Hybrid, the one with the matching blue frame. So I'm gonna pop this on real quick, just so we have a little case. There we go. Very nice, very pretty. I also never removed the S Pen at any point, but I also replaced the S Pen. This was originally a black Verizon phone, but I installed the Sprint firmware on it, and now it's coral blue. Very pretty. Okay. So that's a battery replacement for the Note 7, and yeah, I'm obviously going to have to charge this back up, but this is pretty good. But yeah, so this is Intellitech Mobile signing out with just a quick video, because I mean, how often do you see people repairing Note 7s in 2024, especially with the original battery? So this cost me way too much money, and I'm definitely going to return this. Well, not return it, I've had it for too long, but you know, try to get another one that's actually better. So anyways, that's Intellitech Mobile signing out. Have a good one. Peace.